Hi everybody, welcome to Newkd Tech Space workshop. Today we're going to be showing you how to do a voice recorder, and we are very lucky to have John is going to show us how to make it. So I'll hand him over to you now, and he's going to go through the instructions and he's going to go through everything that is needed. Okay, John?
Okay guys, you're going to receive a pack, and in the pack you're going to receive instructions, and everything will be in this bag here with everything that you need, and we will go through it all step by step. We'll start off with our instructions. So as Jennifer did say there, we're going to make a digital voice recorder. This is what it's supposed to look like at the end. Hopefully we'll all get there. And here is a list of components that are going to be required, and it's step-by-step instructions to piece it all together, and I'm going to make a start on that now, and we'll walk through it step by step. Now we're going to go through the contents of the bag just to make sure we have everything, that nobody's missing anything before we start. Okay, so that's the bag empty. Okay, so we've our main little board that we're going to attach everything onto. This is our holder for our speaker, and again this is our little holder for the speaker, and this is our main board. Now one thing when we are opening up is just to make sure our little screws will be falling into little gaps and stuff on the circuit boards or anything like that, or they're going to stick to the magnet, so be careful with everything. And what we do is lay it all out on a white sheet of paper so that we can make sure we have everything and we can see it all clearly. There's our little switch, there's our screwdriver, there's our couple of wires. This is our speaker, so as you can all see there, our screws, because speakers are magnetized, all our screws will want to stick to the speaker, so we'll just double check we have everything off that. This is to hold our switch. These are our switches, and these are 4 little legs that we're going to put on the base of our speaker, and that's a soft pad that we'll also be using. Okay, and that's an extra bit of wire that we're going to use, our cable tie, and then we also have 3 batteries that are going to be required, and we have our small screwdriver here, and we're going to just check our screws. So again, everything is marked out here on the first section of the page, and we're going to just put all our screws together just to make sure we have everything where we want it to be. Again, on the instructions it'll show you there's different size screws. So we have 10mm screws, 6mm screws, and we have 4mm screws. So I'm just going to put them all together there, that we've all separated, and it'll make it easier when we are piecing it together. So again, if you just want to have a white sheet of paper, and that's everything marked out there, and there is no spare bits. You will also need a scissors just for stripping the wires, which we will go through a little later as well. Okay doke, so I'm happy enough. I have everything there that I require, and I have my instructions. So we'll move this sheet to the side, and we will start with a clean fresh piece of paper and start our build on to the side with everything on the sheet. It's nice and tidy, we know where everything else is, and we'll start with our new sheet. Okay, so we'll take our main board, okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our 4 legs, which we're going to attach onto the base. So they go on like so. So we get our screws that we require for them, which are 6mm screws, which are, there's probably 12 of them 6mm screws. So as you can see, they're not the longest and they're not the shortest, so they're in between. So I'm using a different screwdriver because my hands are slightly bigger. So we will start threading that guy in here. So we get the screw till it's just coming out the far side, and we'll attach our little leg, hold up square, and we screw it into place. Just like so. So if you wish, you can start the other screws, or if you wish, you can screw the 4 screws, get them all ready to go. That way, just till they come to the end, just to get them in place, that we can add our 4 legs then all together. So if you keep screwing till you just feel it touching your finger, you know your thread is ready to go into your leg when it comes around to it. Okay, so our next little leg. This is a little tricky, so you might want to get a little help from an adult or an older sibling. Okay, nearly there with that now. Okay, so that's our first stage done. We'll start with getting our block here connected. So basically one side is square. We want the square side to go down on our board, okay? And the other side has a cross, so it's like a little plus sign in it. So we're going to put that down here and we're going to count in roughly 6 holes in this direction. So I have 2, 4, 6, okay? And we're going to sit that around there, and we're going to get 2 4mm screws, which are the short little boys. We put them on there, that's where we want to use them. So we can just line up our holes there. And down we go. Same on the other side. Oops. Okay. So that's that in place. Next, we're going to put our little switch in here. So that's our little on-off switch. Again, 2 number 4 screws. So, and that can only go in one place. That's in that slotted hole. That's already cut out on the board. Make life easy on us. Yay! Now we are going to put on our wire connectors, and they are going to go in the middle between the 2 of these holes here, and we're going to put it right out to the outside. So again, it's a number 10 screw. So we get that ready. We can drop the screw in here, have it all ready to go, and put it roughly in the center. So I need to go one more. not very important, but once we get it there and thereabouts, position wise, so just like that. Okay, so that's how our board is going to look at the moment. Okay, so now we turn our board to the side. Now we're going to fit our board. And just one little tip for our board, as we're fitting our board, and we use 4 6mm screws. My big chubby fingers won't pick them up. So as we're putting the screws in, we just find the position of the hole, and as you can see, I've left the board loose. I'm not gone very tight with the board, just so we can get our 4 screws in, and then we can tighten it afterwards. It's always easier to leave the screws a little loose, because these 2 guys will go in at a slight little angle. They won't be going straight down. You'll be trying to look for a hole that goes straight down. If you just look in, you can see that the hole is at a slight angle. Just put in your screw like so, and then we'll just give the 4 screws a little pinch each. Okay, so this is our board. Just so you're aware, VCC, G and D, very important, they're over here to the left side, away from our switch. Okay, so that's our board. Excuse me. And next stage, we have our battery pack, which we are going to put on the opposite side of the board. So we're going to turn our board upside down. Okay, and we're going to mount our battery pack onto the board. So the battery pack is actually going to, sorry, no, I'll explain this to you properly. We put our circuit board facing down, facing our body here, and then we're going to put our battery pack like so. And what we want to achieve is our red wire going over to our switch, and our black wire is going to slip underneath that hole when we have it mounted correctly. So we just line it up roughly in center, and we line it up to 2 holes, and then we're going to get, there should be 2 4mm screws. Or even they have a slightly bigger head than the normal 4mm screws, and we'll just fix that there onto the center, and same, just make sure our wires are out and are clear out of the way. We're not going to pinch them, nip them in. So our battery pack is nice and tight. Okay, so as I said, our red wire is going to go over here, and our black wire is going to tuck underneath this up to the next stage. Okay, so we will flip this over, and as you can see in our drawing, sorry, we'll actually make our stand next for our speaker. So we'll just put that to the side a second, and we'll start with this guy here. So it doesn't really matter what way it goes, but we should have 2 6mm screws, which we have here, and up to the 2 very top holes, and just 2 holes at the end. Sorry, now we'll actually start these 2 like we did with our main fixing board earlier. Okay, as you can see, I'm a bit shaky this evening. Here we go. So we'll just fix that on there. Now, just like so. Okay, so we will jump on to the next stage. Guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to connect up our wires. Okay, so our red wire goes into the middle piece of our switch. Okay, so very important, red wire. We'll just slot it in the hole and we'll just bend it up with our fingernails. As you can see, my fingernails are dirty all the time, not because I don't wash them, but because I'm a service engineer that deals with the likes of this stuff with oil and everything all day. So we're going to slip our black wire in here. Okay, so press down one side of it, open it up. Sorry, no, I just need to push down one side and slide it into the top there. When it's release, it's held in there. Now we're going to get our extra loose piece of wire. Some packs it might be red, other packs it'll be black. And what we'll do is we'll just pair off the end just to give us a little bit of wire sticking out. Bear with me a second. Okay. And we'll also do the other side. Now, for the next step, we're just going to, I need you to keep in mind, those that have black cable for the extra bit also have black cable from the battery pack. So one side of the black cable is going to go to the switch and the other side is going to go to the opposite side of this, which is your VCC. Okay, bear with me now a second. I'll just give myself an extra little bit of wire. So again, we'll flip this around. Okay, and I'm going to insert this, if you can see there on the camera, I'm going to insert this into one side. Doesn't really matter which side you choose, one side of the switch. So just bear in mind our red one is in the center and our supposedly second cable, which should be red or black, and we'll slip that into the same hole as the black cable and we'll bring that up to this guy here. Again, we'll push down, we push down and we slip it in there and it's held nice and tight. Sorry, the other one came out with my big rough fingers, but that's okay. And we slip that guy in there and he's held. Okay, so now, so we will now get our VCC cable and our GND cable. Okay, so to make it easier, we're going to go with our GND as the black and our VCC as the white. Okay, so I'm actually going to separate these just to make life a little easier on us. So again, we're going to have to peel the edge here to give us some continuity to create our circuit, because that's what we were doing here now, is we were creating our circuit, create our current flow. And it's very important that we get these connections right, because if we don't, we won't have our current flow, which won't let it work, sorry. So we're going to go with the black as the GND, and as you can see here on our board, it's clearly marked GND. So we're going to get our little plug and we're going to sit it down into it. Oh, sorry now. And try be gentle. I have to try be super gentle because I'm as rough as sandpaper the best of days. There we go. Push that down onto it. And again, we're going to go with our black wire that's coming from our battery pack. That's very important, okay? Or else we're going to create a short circuit. So push down, and in we go, and we're held inside. Okay? So we'll do the same with the white. Okay, there we have it. And our white is our VCC. So again, our little notch that's on it there, we'll keep that facing on the outside. So on we go there. A little bit of a push. And bring that around into our, and you'll tell the difference between the two black wires because our black wire from our battery pack is a lot thicker than the extra wire that's going to be supplied, which will be either red or black, okay? And we connect our white wire to that extra wire, and there we have good connection. Just make sure you give the wires a little pull just to make sure we've got a good hold of them, that we will create our continuity. Okay, so next we're going to go back to our speaker holder, okay? And our speaker holder is going to slot into place nice and easy. So remember we were talking about this blue bit earlier with our X? That's why we needed the X, so that we could get this to slot down into it. Again, it doesn't matter which way you want to put it, whichever way you think it looks fancier, and just hold the blue bit and just push that down into it. That is nice and solid. Okay, so next stage is we're going to get some of our double-sided tape, okay, some of our sticky pad. You can use it all if you wish, or if you wish to just put a small bit on it, peel off one side, and we stick it onto our flag. Okay, mine went right crooked there, fair play to me. And then we peel off the other side. At that stage, we will hook our speaker onto that. Just stick in there nicely. And we plug our speaker in. Just be aware, we have a slotted side. One side is smooth with nothing. One side has a little slot in it. That slot needs to slide down into the plug. Just make sure you have your pins lined up. And pop, in it goes. So now we can tidy up our cable here. I'll leave that a little later actually. We'll just test everything and make sure everything's working correctly and see how good I actually am. Okay, so last thing we do is we insert our batteries. So we have a minus and a plus, and you can see in your battery you have a plus. So your plus goes with the plus. Again, your minus and your plus. And then we have our minus and our plus. Okay, now after all that, we're going to turn on our switch. Red button is for record. The middle button, number 2, is for play. And the third button, number 3, is select play. So let's test it out, see how good I really am. Newkd text space. That's recording. Now we press play. Oh, we have a malfunction. Let's try again. Newkd text space. Okay, so I'm noticing a slight little bit of an issue, and what the issue is my wiring that I have hooked up to the back of my switches, which is back here. You can see they're very loose because I have big stubby fingers and I couldn't get a proper press on them. So if you have a soldering iron, you can solder these just to make it a little better. Now what I will actually do is I will actually go and I will solder these for you this evening, just so you can see how it's done and how easy it is to do it. Okay, so I'll be back to you again in a minute. Okay, guys, this is just to take us a step further. I'm not happy with my connection here because my wires are loose, and this is my own little thing, so I'm just going to solder them. Now if at home mom and dad are with you, you could bring this down here and get a little bit of hot glue just to hold your wire in position. It's just to create a better contact. The better a contact you get in electronics, the better a clearer voice you'll get, or more power current you will get, depending on what we're dealing with. So this guy here is actually sending our power to our voice recorder, and the more contact we get in it, the better contact, the more clearer our sound is. So I'm just going to give these guys a little touch of solder. Okay. Just like that. Just a little dab. Just to keep everything. Make sure you have a parent with you when you're doing this, please. So as you can see now, we have nice solid little connections. Okay. So I shouldn't have any of the little jumpy bits I had a minute ago. So here we go. Record. I would like to thank DigiWiz for the use of this material to produce this. Thank you. Let's see what it says.
I would like to thank DigiWiz for the use of this material to produce this. Thank you. I would like to thank DigiWiz for the use of this.
Okay, so this is our
Thank you.
voice recorder, which is a very nice project to do, to be fair. It's the digital voice recorder, converts the analog signal into a digital signal through a digital to analog converter by sampling and encoding the analog signal.
I really miss everyone in TechSpace. Can't wait to see you all again. I really miss everyone in TechSpace. Can't wait to see you all again.
Cool. Thanks everybody. Enjoy. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. It was quite enjoyable.